Good day. Today we're going to look at CQG's algo called Market If Touched. A little background: a market if touched order is a conditional order that can trigger a limit or a market order if the price is touched. So it's basically the inverse of a stop order. But if you come here to the link that will be posted below, and you'll come to this page, and no matter if you have Qtrader or Integrated Client, please download the Market If Touched below this section here. So we'll click that. We'll hit run, and it's going to run here, Windows 10, so we're going to hit run anyways. Should get some prompts here. So if we see here, we'll hit next, install, and finish. And if we minimize this, we see we have CQG running, and please have CQG running right now. And if you go over here, what you want to do is you can typically type algo. Now, this is the list of the ones I have. You may just have one. It might not come up. If it doesn't, you could just type MIT. And then what you could do is right click here, and I like the pin to the taskbar. So put it down here. And what I'd like to do is run it. And if you run it here, you'll notice it says certain properties. We'll hit OK to start with default. And then if you look down to the right, we're starting to get some pop-ups here about the algo. And we can minimize those. They can be a little bit cumbersome when you first start. And if you notice, they keep popping up. And what I'll do here is I'm going to click right over here, and I'm going to right click on the adapter that's here. Let me close that, and then we'll right click. Right click here, and we'll go. What I like to do is I first like to go into Configuration Manager. What I'd like to do is select this balloon tip level to just errors, so you don't constantly have, it's going to restart the algo there. You don't constantly have the pop-ups. So if we go back in, we see our adapter is running. Again, it's running on our PC. So right click, and I like to go to Profile Manager. And this is where you can set it up. You can give it a number, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And you can set one to, right, so we'll set number 1 to use limit orders. We'll hit OK. And then it'll say, okay, we'll use number 1 that we made here. So that one's using limit orders. And then what we can do is we can run it again. Actually, what we can also do is go back into the Profile Manager. We'll create another one that uses market orders, and we'll call that number 2. We'll hit OK, and we'll hit yes. So make sure we start, first we'll start number 1 again. Then we'll come down here to where our adapter is. We'll run it again, and we'll start number 2. So now if you look under the EOCO link in your DOM, you will see you have 1 and 2. One's using limit orders, and one's using market orders. And again, it's So again, here we go. We got our 2 orders. We got our limit and our market if touched market order. Now, one thing to know first is if you look right here, you'll have 2 adapters running, one for number 1 and number 2. What you have to do, though, unfortunately, is to run a monitor for each of them. So if you right click, go to monitor. And if you look, I've put a monitor for the market orders, and I've put a monitor for the limit orders. These are not going to show up on your typical orders and positions window that you're used to. You're also not going to see them working if they're on the chart as well, if you use that functionality. So here we go. So right now we're going to use the market if touched limit one. And what I'll do is I'll just hit right here. So again, it's like a stop. It's just like instead of using a buy stop, I'm using it as basically a sell stop. So right here I'm going to sell at 338 or 110.38 in euro currencies. I'll click that. If we bring up our monitors again, we'll see it working here. So again, this is the monitor for limit orders. So if it gets to 110.38, it's immediately going to sell limited order at 110.38. Now we can go to MIT2, which is a market order. So if we go down here, say we want to buy at the market, we should put in a market order if it trades down to 110.33.5. We put that here. So again, this is what's different too. You can't just click on the price and hit buy on the buy column. What you have to do is you have to hit the buy market button, and then you set your price here. So we'll say 33, 110.33 in the euro currency. Then if we look here, we bring up our monitor again. There's our limit order in the 1, and then if we look here, we have our market order. So it trades down here, so it traded down to 33 our price, and if you see, we got filled on a market order. We are working on all these and putting them on our server soon, these order types, so this functionality is, it's going to get cleaned up a little bit here. So if you have any questions,